This segment of Delmarva Life is brought to you by Peninsula Regional Medical Center.
She dropped the phone and burst into tears. The doctor just confirmed her fears. Her husband held it in and held her tight. Cancer don't discriminate or care if you're just 38. With 3 kids who need you in their lives.
A very emotional video from Martina McBride. I'm going to love you through it about getting a diagnosis of breast cancer. Well, the Maryland affiliate of Susan G. Komen for the Cure recently gave the Richard A. Henson Cancer Institute at Peninsula Regional Medical Center a clinical research grant. And here to explain how that money is going to be used is Dr. Ben Yu, Medical Director of Oncology Research at PRMC. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. Now, I was actually surprised to hear that Maryland is ranked 5th in the nation for breast cancer related deaths. How is the Susan G. Komen for the Cure helping with that?
Well, thank you for the privilege to talk about Komen. Unlike a lot of cancer charities, the most part of what is donated to Komen goes back to support breast cancer diagnosis, screening, and care programs in the local community. So 70% of the money that's donated by participants in local events as part of Komen go back to support Maryland breast cancer patients. And I think that this is an excellent way to support research and care in your area.
Right, right. It all stays local. Now, tell us about the grant that PRMC recently received.
Thank you. The grant is titled Clinical Outreach for Breast Cancer Patients on the Maryland Eastern Shore. Several years ago, as we began to study breast cancer clinical trial enrollment, we realized that we weren't doing very well at the Richard A. Henson Cancer Institute. So we also discovered that the majority of our patients are rural, so there are travel barriers. And we also found out that minority groups did not participate very frequently in cancer clinical trials. And cancer clinical trials are very important because they are the way by which we improve breast cancer survivorship and care.
And this money is going to be used for the clinical trials?
Yes, there's actually 4 parts to the grant itself. The first part is to improve lay and medical professional understanding of what breast cancer clinical trials and how important they are. The second part goes to improving the screening of patients for breast cancer clinical trials if they're eligible. And as part of this, we're better understanding their decision making so we can better understand potential barriers to participation. And finally, the ultimate goal is to improve participation of our breast cancer patients that come to us, especially of minority groups, because they're underrepresented.
And obviously this will help women on Delmarva, women and men.
Yes, absolutely. I think that people are now aware that we are the largest community cancer center in the Delmarva Peninsula, and we want to make sure that the public and our medical professionals understand that we have breast cancer clinical trials that are sponsored by the NCI here. So patients don't necessarily have to go across the bay to one of the major cancer centers to participate in a breast cancer clinical trial.
Now, you talked about screenings, bringing awareness to women that they can and should be screened. They can do that even if they don't have insurance, is that correct?
Absolutely. Thank you for asking that. And thank you for being a role model to participate in getting your breast cancer screening. I just want to remind the public that the standard of care is to start annual breast mammograms at age 40. It saves lives and it catches breast cancer at earlier and more curable stages. Now, at the Richard A. Henson Cancer Institute, we do have a multidisciplinary breast cancer clinic and conference program that works weekly to serve patients. We also have a breast diagnostic center. And so if you don't have medical insurance, go to your local county health department and you can apply for a state of Maryland special fund for breast cancer screening, and that'll cover the cost of your mammogram in case you don't have medical insurance.
We're lucky to have the Richard A. Henson Cancer Institute. Can you tell us more about that?
Thank you. The actual building you see along 13 was opened in 2009 with the generosity of the Richard A. Henson Foundation. We are, as I mentioned, the largest comprehensive community cancer center in the Delmarva Peninsula. We have specialists representing all the cancer specialties, including surgery, medical oncology, radiation oncology. We have survivorship programs. We have navigators. And as I mentioned, we have a breast cancer care program here as well.
Very good information. And
Thank
it's good
you.
to know all of that. And if you would like to learn more about Susan G. Komen for the Cure grant or Peninsula Regional Medical Center's Richard A. Henson Cancer Institute, we have it on our website, delmarvalife.com. Click on the show tab. Well, looking for a home close enough to all the modern conveniences, but far enough away from the hustle and bustle? Up next, Brian introduces us to a Sussex County builder who may just have the ideal location and home design you're looking for.